Hello, good night to everybody. Hope everyone is doing very, very well. The big day is a matter of days now. 4 days till Christmas. Almost there. The big day is almost here. It's not only Christmas, it's not only the family and all that good stuff, the food, but some very exciting games on Christmas. The Chiefs against the Steelers, for one, should be hopefully a good game between two teams that have double digit wins, I think. Don't the Steelers have 10? And number two is the Lakers Warriors game. Goalkeeper the Bond could be 8-9 on the road. This could be a big game. You show the NBA that the Lakers are here to make a statement. And now I think the Lakers are going to make a statement when, by most definitely near the All-Star break. Because in the All-Star break, you got to be healthy, got to make a move or two, and you don't want to peak in the month of December. So the numbers should be good to break down in that game. I would like to take a moment and break down what's gonna pretty much tell you what's gonna happen for the AFC to conclude the regular season. So number one, Merry Christmas to the Chiefs. All they want for Christmas is to not play on the road, and that wish gets satisfied by Santa on Christmas. So the Chiefs win and they have home field. That's all what they really want for Christmas as far as immediate goals to end the regular season. Number two, if the Steelers lose, then the Ravens are going to be in position to win the AFC North. And the Ravens and the Steelers both have the same record in the division, and they both split the season series. So what is the scenario for the Ravens? Let's go to Google and see if there are any scenarios that exist on Christmas Day. So the big streak of Lamar Jackson not beating the Steelers for quite some time, kind of fitting that ends on a game that was nationally televised to the rest of the country. So let's take a look at the playoff scenario for the Ravens. And the main thing that we're eyeballing is the division. So the Chiefs lock up home field and the Ravens get closer to hosting a playoff game in the wild card round. So the scenario for Christmas, if the Ravens had lost on Saturday against Pittsburgh, the division would have gone to the Steelers. Pittsburgh still has control of its own destiny. The Steelers would own the tiebreaker if both teams win out. But the Ravens are in the chase. The scenarios by which Baltimore wins the AFC North is the Ravens win out and the Steelers lose, key phrase, at least once. So the Ravens take care of business on Christmas against a Texans team that, well, do the Texans have anything to play for if they won the AFC South? Let's take a look at the playoff standings, and does Houston have something to play for? Well, let's take a look at the playoff simulator. That may answer the question. Where's the playoff machine? By the way, it feels great outside. It's barely cold out here. It's 56 degrees. I can still run in short shorts on December 21st. I mean, that's Arizona for you. Feels great. I still had to wear a jacket out there. Okay, so let's see. The Ravens, they beat Houston. Steelers, they lose. When that happens, the Texans are the number 4 seed. Now, if and let's assume the Chargers win against the Patriots. The Chargers clinch a playoff berth on Saturday. So the NFL is rigged. All these ending the streaks, the playoff berths on these nationally televised games. So if the results do shape up the way that I think they're going to shape up, Los Angeles would travel to Baltimore. If Jim faces off against John Harbaugh, Chargers are going to win. Because Jim Harbaugh, he's 0-3 against John Harbaugh. If Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers are facing the Ravens in the wild card round, Jim Harbaugh is going to eliminate his brother John. It's going to be revenge for Super Bowl 47. If the Chargers play the Ravens in the first round, the Chargers are getting the upset. The Chargers have beaten the Ravens in the playoffs. Remember, it was Lamar's first playoff game, and he got benched. I think Joe Flacco came in. So a little bit of a history there between the Chargers and the Ravens. If the two teams play against each other, I'm going Chargers over Ravens. Because I think the Chargers against Kansas City would, and it's all synced up by the three-peat, right? So the Chargers would, under this scenario, would lose 3 times to Kansas City, looking to three-peat. Speaking of, Denver is going to end the year with 3 straight losses, and with the third loss happening against Kansas City, who's trying to three-peat. Now, here's where it gets very dramatic. The Chiefs clinch home field. Patrick Mahomes, there's no reason to play him in Week 18. But caveat emptor, this does not mean Denver is going to automatically be in the playoffs, because you have another solid starting quarterback who's now a backup, Carson Wentz, can play football. Carson Wentz, under Andy Reid's system, will eliminate Kansas City in Week 18. Carson Wentz is going to be 1-0 as a starter for this season. 1-0, like 10, like Patrick Mahomes' 10th pick, like the 10 straight wins to end the year, like the 10 consecutive playoff win for Kansas City to clinch 3-peat. So Wentz being 1-0 as a starter to eliminate a division rival, quite fitting way to end the year. A backup quarterback will still beat the Denver Broncos. And the public, logically speaking, the public is going to be all over the Broncos because Patrick Mahomes is not playing. But when you have a really good backup who's a solid starter like Carson Wentz, this is where it's a recipe for disaster. Andy Reid's the best play caller in the game. You've seen Donovan McNabb. He probably made Donovan McNabb much better than he really was. And he made Alex Smith very successful at winning double-digit games every single year. So Carson Wentz is going to eliminate the Denver Broncos because, again, if it's about solidifying Josh Allen. You want him to go up against a weak Bengals defense. You want Joe Burrow against Josh Allen. You want a marquee matchup that people will tune in to see Burrow, to see Jamar Chase, to see Josh Allen, to see the Buffalo Bills. So that's a box office matchup in the first round of playoffs. And this could be a revenge game for Josh Allen, who got eliminated by the Bengals in the year of Super Bowl 57. The Bengals defeated the Bills in the divisional round. So this is what I'm looking at for the AFC on that side. So the Chiefs are still going to go undefeated. They will not lose a game the rest of the way. The Lions' third loss of the year is going to be against Kansas City. Jared Goff only scored 3 points in Super Bowl 53. The bottom line is this is the script for the Lions to win the NFC, but then have their hearts ripped out against Kansas City. They're just too much. If you have Tom Brady watching the Super Bowl, they're not going to have Mahomes lose with Tom Brady watching. By the numbers, Mahomes is going to be 3 Super Bowls away from tying Tom Brady. That's what's going to happen in the Super Bowl. The Lions are going to lose. The Lions were the team Tom Brady made his NFL debut against. He made his debut against the Lions. Remember, it wasn't against the Jets. He came in relief for a couple plays. He was like 1 for 3 against the Lions, but he made his NFL debut against the Lions. But he made his debut before he came in relief of Drew Bledsoe when he got injured against the New York Jets. So yeah, Carson Wentz is going to send the Bengals to the playoffs because again, the Chiefs are going to get their wish on Christmas. They're going to get the number 1 seed on Christmas. See, the Bills are at 3 losses when the Chiefs clinch home field. This is how scripted it is. The Bills would be at 3 losses when the Chiefs clinch home field. And the Bills' third loss against the AFC all season long is going to be in the AFC Championship game. Yeah, where's the simulator? Ravens Chargers. This would be exciting. This would be exciting. They only beat a Broncos team that choked. They only beat the Patriots. They only beat the Raiders. They lost against Baltimore. They lost against Kansas City. I think public will be on Baltimore. I think. But they lost against the Steelers. And now Justin Herbert was injured in that game at Pittsburgh in week 2, week 3. Let's not forget Justin Herbert was injured in that game at Pittsburgh week 2, week 3. But I think the Lions will face off against a third seed. I don't know. I don't think they're going to go against a third seed. It all depends on who's the 4th or the 3rd between the NFC West and the NFC South. But Tampa Bay, Philadelphia is a spicy matchup. Baker against Philadelphia, yes. Baker Mayfield. Hurts is going to get the revenge against Philadelphia. Now, Bucks does have Camacho 45, and yes, the Eagles do beat the Bucks. Bucks has Camacho 45, but then again, this is all going to end with the Eagles falling to 4-5 in the NFC Championship game because Jared Goff is 45 and New Orleans is 45 and 3-peat's 45. So I'm sorry, Philadelphia Eagles have 0 chance, no matter how much you want to spend it, that the Eagles have a chance of making the Super Bowl. They don't, because that's not the script. Well, they're not going to lose 2 games then. Caesar Superdome 182, that makes sense. But then the 19th win against Dan Campbell, Dan's Camacho 19, a former Rams quarterback, LA Rams 19. Saints are hosting, Saints is 19, and Pat's Camacho 10. If Pat's Camacho 10, it's 10 consecutive playoff wins. It's 10 consecutive wins after the first loss of the year happening in the 10th game. And Patrick Mahomes is the 10th pick, and Tom Brady played in 10 Super Bowls. And this is all about 10 in case you didn't realize just yet. And Dan is Camacho of 10. It's all about It's all about 10. And if it's about 10, if Justin Herbert's number 10, then number 10 is going to face off against the Chiefs in the divisional round of the playoffs because it's the third win against the Chargers. It's the 10 straight playoff wins. It's the Justin Herbert is number 10. So the Chargers going to beat the Ravens and face off against Kansas City in the divisional round of the playoffs. And if that happens, the Chiefs win the Super Bowl at Vegas. Vegas is 54, their first Super Bowl win in 50 years was Super Bowl 54. And Harbaugh's, let's see, he's 5-3 in the play. Okay, your Harbaugh's 5-3 playoffs. He's going to be 6-3. He's going to be 6-4. That's the script. Kansas City Chiefs 64, his last elimination, he was the 49ers coach. He came from Michigan too. Michigan's Camacho 64. I can do a whole video on that. Do some playoff projection videos. I think that's what we need to do. Because if you can figure out the script weeks in advance, then this means the playoff games are going to be boom, 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 boom. Bullseye, 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 bullseye. And so what's Baker's playoff record? If the Packers play the Bucs are going to beat the Packers. If it's about Tom Brady, number 12, if the first Super Bowl at Louisiana is 12 years later, then hypothetically Jordan Love could fall to 1-2 in the playoffs. And Aaron Rodgers is number 12 too. He replaces Aaron Rodgers. So this is the logic behind that. The scripted three-peat action. Philadelphia beats Washington 3 times, or maybe the Washington team does get a win over Philadelphia, and that creates excitement for the wild card round. Can the Detroit-Washington matchup happen? The NFC title game, I think, in 1990, the Washington Redskins beat the Lions. Could that matchup happen? No, because, again, the interesting matchup is that the Lions have not faced off against the Eagles yet. They may have beaten the Minnesota Vikings twice, but they haven't faced off against Philadelphia. So that's the second best team. And the problem with the Rams and the Bucs is that the Lions beat both of those teams. So you know already how they can handle the Packers and the Bucs and the Rams and the Vikings week 18. The one team that's a mystery against Detroit is Philadelphia. So that's why the Lions have to play Philadelphia in the NFC Championship game. What's Josh Allen's playoff record? Josh Allen's a character. He's a regular season player. He's a character. Taylor Swift is Camacho 75. Josh Allen is 5-5 in the playoffs. He could fall to 7-6. The Detroit Lions, Camacho 76. That's who's going to win the NFC. So yeah, I do like his playoff record to be 7-6. Josh Allen 7-6. KC, when you enter in the calculators, Camacho 14, and the Bills are maybe when they beat the Chiefs eventually, though, Josh Allen's going to improve to 1-4 against the Chiefs in the playoffs. The one statistic I do like is he's 3-0 at Arrowhead in the regular season, but he's 0-2 in the playoffs. So Josh Allen's 3-2 at Arrowhead. He's going to fall to 3-3 like Camacho, the three-peats Camacho 33 and Patrick's Camacho 33. I mean, the Ravens destroyed the Steelers. Do we really want to watch that again? The Brothers is far more interesting. The Brothers. Could the Chargers move up to number 5? Yes, they can. The playoff simulator calls for them to beat the hapless Raiders. And the Bengals are in when they beat the Steelers. The Denver Donkeys are going to lose out. Where's the 9-8? Where's the 9-8? Oh, Denver, Kansas City. Yep, Carson Wentz going to win that game. If Patrick Mahomes is not starting week 18 and everyone is betting on the Broncos, I'm just saying there's an ample opportunity to go with Carson Wentz the last week of the regular season. The one game I'm looking at intensely, I think, is the Cardinals-Rams game on Saturday. Yeah, fuck that. If these guys get contract extensions like James Conner and Buda Baker, this may be the Cardinals game against the Rams. It may be. Sam's Camacho Glendale obviously talking about Sam Darnold. Cardinals' first playoff win without Larry Fitzgerald, who grew up in Minnesota, could happen against the Vikings. That's something that's interesting, too. That 10th win against the Cardinals for Jared Goff is fitting into the 10 narratives for the playoffs. Cincinnati, let's see. So, it's just not possible based on my projections to see the Jim Harbaugh matchup against his brother. Steelers lose against the Bengals, and the Chiefs, the Chargers keep on winning. So the Chargers will be the 5th seed. So, number 1 Chiefs against number 5 Chargers. And Lamar's losing against the Bills. Bills-Ravens is the divisional game. Bills-Ravens is the divisional game. Chargers-Chiefs is the divisional game. The Ravens season is going to end against Buffalo. In Houston, they're not getting Joe Flacco. They're not getting the Cleveland Clowns. The Chargers are going to make a statement. LA Chargers in Gematria. So Jim Harbaugh improves to 6-3 in the playoffs. He falls to 6-4. Kansas City Chiefs at 64. That is the script. Which team's the most talented if there was no script? A team that's got 20 players on injured reserve is pretty damn good if you ask me. Maybe Buffalo, maybe. It won't surprise me to see Washington beat Philadelphia. They really don't need Philadelphia to win to keep up with the Lions. It's the Vikings that are keeping up with the Lions. If there's a game that's going to be an upset, Washington against Philadelphia. The Packers are just boring. They don't want another. I'd be surprised if they actually do have another Packers-Lions game, but Lions already beat the Packers twice. I just think Bucks against Eagles is something that you just can't ignore. It's a good playoff rivalry. It is. The teams don't hate each other, but they know each other. They play each other. But yeah, I could see the Vikings being one and done in the playoffs potentially. The AFC side is just pretty obvious. Lamar's going to beat the Steelers, and he's going to lose the following game. Lamar's going to be 3-5 in the playoffs. I don't think Herbert won a playoff game. His first playoff win, if he does beat Houston. It's Comanche, Justin Herbert. The Houston Texans is Comanche 66. Harbaugh's Comanche 66. If they do face off against the Texans in the first round of the playoffs, Houston Texans 66. Harbaugh's Comanche 66. If you're sitting in these board meetings with the NFL owners, you'd be talking about a Burrow Allen matchup. Crazy year for Kansas City. Everybody thinks, oh, they're frauds, they're frauds. So even when they win games, I think Colts is Comanche 69. Could they fall to 6-9 if they lose against Tennessee and Anthony Richardson is not the future? Yeah, I could see Tennessee winning that game. Mason Rudolph's pretty good though. LA Rams, Comanche 97. If the Cardinals win the next two games, they'd be 9-7. This NFC West, the Seahawks are going to choke. The Seahawks will choke and the Broncos will choke. Those are the teams that are going to choke. Commanders, even if they lose, they get the Falcons next. They get a rookie quarterback. It's like this team is already in the playoffs. I wonder what Saquon's stats are against Washington, because Saquon Barkley against Washington, it's like we've played against him with the Giants. The AFC playoff scenario is very clear. Bills Ravens. Bills beat the Ravens. Bills lose against Kansas City. The Chiefs go 10-0 at home. 10 home wins. Scripting based off of the number 10 is just insane this year. It's insane. It's all over the place. Baltimore's Camacho 95. If the Ravens are 6-4 against the conference, they'll beat the Texans and the Clowns, and then they'll win the wild card round. They'll be 9-4 against the conference, and they're going to fall to 9-5 in the conference when they lose against Buffalo. Ravens, they'll finish 6-4 away. I know 64 is Gamache Kansas City Chiefs. Buffalo Bills away record. Bills are going to finish the year 6-4 on the road. Kansas City Chiefs is Gamache 64. They're 5-3. There will be 6. Yep, 6-3, 6-4. Kansas City Chiefs is 64. They're going to fall to 6-4 away from home during this season. Will Josh Allen sit the last week of the season? Oh, both Bills and Ravens have. Let's see. Bills have 11 wins. Ravens have 10. Bills have a better conference record. The Ravens beat the Bills head to head. So Josh Allen may be forced to play week 18. Yeah, he will have to play. He will not be able to sit. So throw that out the window. Falcons will win. They'll stay alive. And the Bucs, all they have to do is beat Washington and Carolina. Okay. The Bucs, yeah, the Cowboys, yep. The Bucs are not going to lose another game until the divisional round. It's just crazy. Justin Herbert's number, everything with the Chiefs, all the 10s. That's your matchup in the divisional round. The 3 wins against the Chargers. How many wins does he have against the Chargers in his career, Patrick Mahomes? What loss would this be for the Chargers since they moved to LA? So I see Patrick Mahomes as 10 wins against the Chargers. So it's going to be 11-2 against the Chargers then. Kind of like Glendale is at the 112th Meridian. That was the first of 3 consecutive championships. You see how LA Gematria? You see how LA fits into this? You win a championship, first of 3 straight championships. We look at the first of the 3 straight championships. Washington will probably win. That's got to be an upset. They got to have a upset. That has to be the upset. Yep, but remember, the scenario is going to play out. It's going to happen on Christmas. The Chiefs have nothing to play for, but Carson Wentz still going to eliminate Denver. Watch. You want to eliminate Denver. Could they play chess and say, it doesn't matter if Denver's in because number 7's getting eliminated by Josh Allen at number 2, right? It doesn't matter. Bo Nix is number 10. This season can come to an end against Kansas City. Herbert's number 10. This season can come to an end against Kansas City. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Hello. Miami's beating San Francisco. Miami has to stay alive in the playoff race. So we have 2 dramatic things are going to happen. Carson Wentz is going to eliminate the Broncos. Aaron Rodgers is going to eliminate the Dolphins to send the Bengals to the playoffs. That's That's going to happen week 18. Rodgers eliminates the Dolphins, Jets, Dolphins. Carson Wentz eliminates Denver. Scripts have already been written. Yeah. Paul Goldschmidt. Yep. Gold Glove. Yep. MVP 2 years ago. Yep. Former D-back can destroy the Dodgers. Yep. I like that. Yep. Cortez is not better than Max Fried. He always gets hurt. He's guys out the door. Yep. Williams is great. He's a closer. Yep. Who needs a selfish prima donna who wants his own elevator, who wants his own suite, when you can make moves all around to make the team better all around in every department, relief pitching, starting pitching, first base. So, yep, Soto is overrated. It's about building a better all around team. Yeah, they signed Clay Holmes. Yeah, bye. One thing at a time, but I'm telling you, man, Cardinals gonna beat the Rams, and this Saturday it's gonna happen. It'd be crazy if the Jets actually do pull this off to send the Bengals in the playoffs. I don't want to see Miami get destroyed by Buffalo again. Do you? Didn't they lose twice against Buffalo? Let me check. Okay, they would. I'm pretty sure they had to score a garbage time touchdown and kick an onside kick. I'm pretty positive that happened. The Dolphins are lame. I mean, Burrow is better statistically. It has to be Burrow. It has to be Burrow against Josh Allen, because who are the top passers this year? I think it's Burrow and Allen. Josh Allen only has 25 touchdowns, but then he's got how many rushing touchdowns? Okay, Joe Burrow's got 36 touchdowns. And this is what I'm talking. You need this guy in the playoffs. Lamar's got 37 touchdowns. He's in the playoffs. Joe Burrow 36 touchdowns. He's got to be in the playoffs. You can't leave this guy out. They're 218 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. It's like it's got to be Cincinnati. Wonder how many touchdowns Mahomes finishes the year with. 23 or 24, 25. Lions is Gamacha 24. I'm just saying. Lions has Camacho 24. He throws 2 touchdowns against the Steelers, and he sits the last game, and he finishes with 24 touchdown passes in the regular season. And Lions is Camacho 24. He's going to finish the season with 24 touchdown passes. He's going to get 2 touchdowns on Christmas. He's going to sit the last game. He's going to have 24 touchdown passes for the season. Patrick Mahomes. And how many regular season touchdown passes across the 3 years for Patrick Mahomes? If by conventional wisdom, he should finish with 24. Oh, that's only 1 touchdown pass then. Perfect. It is the Steelers. They're all about that defense. That's 92 touchdowns across all 3 years. I wonder what 92 represents. What equals 92? Yep. Yeah, I don't think it's any coincidence if the Chiefs and the Broncos and the Chargers seasons with 2 quarterbacks that wear number 10. then you pretty much know where the script is heading to. But I wonder what did the 10th win against the Lions in the Super Bowl. Then what's the 10? How does number 10 connect to the Bills and the Chiefs matchup? That's what I'd like to know. Josh is Camacho 52. The Chiefs improved to 5-2 in the playoffs against Buffalo. 57 is a championship number too. You think about Len Dawson, he won Super Bowl IV, his death, the fourth Super Bowl title, the fourth win, the fourth consecutive win in the playoffs for Kansas City over Buffalo. The 1993 season was the last time the Bills won a playoff game over the Chiefs. So which season are they going to finally win a playoff game against Kansas City? Patrick is 33. The Bills is 33. Josh Allen's 33. So it'd be 33 years if it's a 2026 season. It'd be 34 if it's 2027. Yeah, the Bills are going to lose again. Josh Allen scored a 26-yard rushing touchdown with 2:17 remaining in the fourth quarter to secure a Bills win, ending the previously 9-0 Chiefs their first loss of the season. The clinching play was a 26-yard rushing touchdown, and as a result, the season will conclude with the Bills' 26th loss all time against Kansas City. Good fucking night. End of the story.